So,
Yeah.
like, is he going to be able to counter a tiny jump in? Is he even going to be in position to be able to counter a tiny jump in? I don't know. It's going to be a hard
I
game
think
for him.
Adfinem are kind of all inning on winning their lanes
Yeah.
here. Like they need their off lane to win so that their safe lane will be strong. Same kind of concept that we saw in that earlier series, IG versus Paint. If that doesn't happen, then I think they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
There's some other cute stuff going on, like Leshrac with a Blood Rage is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't like the squishiness. That to me is the big concern.
The other thing now is they kind of need that other hero to keep everybody in place. Right now, I'm not really seeing that much control on Adfinim's team. It's like dependent upon an arrow or
Yeah,
a Yule setup.
yeah.
Or
The
something.
catch is not great either. And
Geek
okay,
fam
Geek
have the
fam
catch.
taking their I guess one of their favorite like laning slash locked in heroes. The Bat Rider was very popular for a little while there. Even people were playing Bat 4, people were playing Bat 5. Bat 3 was really popular with the Boots of Travel first build, just kind of playing behind the tower the whole time, constantly dragging and cutting waves. I think that build is probably like all of that is probably still viable.
Right.
I'm not sure whether we're looking at 3 or 4 bat this game.
I mean, it could be played both ways, right? You could do.
Yeah.
I think that Cuckoo likes the hero though, so he's probably going to be the one playing it. But they might switch off a little bit of farm priority a little bit. The other thing to keep an eye on is what's that Bloodseeker matchup going to look like? Because that sounds terrible to me, and I don't think you can move Bloodseeker mid.
Like no.
Yeah,
they don't have great ways to adjust now.
The best thing that I would think for Adfinem would be to like run out a Slark here at the end, but I don't think that they can run Bloodseeker mid against OD. So I don't know. I think they're in a lot of trouble right now. I'm really liking Geek Fam's draft.
Yeah, they don't have great ways to deal with this.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they could try and pick like an Omni, and then they have to try and get the Omni matched up against the Bat Rider. And then just kind of dodge and then like set the other lanes however they can to make it work. But yeah,
ban Omni.
Omni instantly gets banned. Yeah. Well, I called it at least, but yeah.
And how do you deal with the bristleback now? Dude, Raven is just gonna run wild.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Although,
I don't know what else.
Shadow Demon's kind of cool here. You can do the Soul Catcher oriented build to deal with Bristle, maybe.
Sure, it's gonna help a little bit, but I think Geek Fam just want they just want Bristle back because he can run in and absorb a bunch of spells and like pave the way for everybody else. He can just go and sit there and give vision for Bat Rider to find jumps and stuff. Omni Knight was my only concept to save Adfinim's draft. I can't think of anything else because a lot of the other like I can lane against Bat Rider heroes are not good for their lineup. Here. So okay, so they just pick Viper.
I mean, it's good against Bristle.
Bristleback counter, yeah.
I think
I don't think it's not great against Bat Rider or OD.
Now they're like, all right, who's going against OD? Who wants to do it?
Yeah,
that's literally the discussion I think that's happening right now. All right, so they're gonna send the Thug on Viper, and now you can see Madari's like, I don't want to play this hero. Yeah, I don't want it.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me play Bloodseeker versus Bat Rider. They have no hero that wants to play against Bat Rider this game.
This is tough. Well, game number 2, at least from the draft, where I think we're both sitting, Geek Fam looked to be pretty heavy advantage.
This is Geek Fam all day, I think.
I will say I didn't feel like Adfinem were outplayed last game necessarily. There were a couple of moments where Adfinem were actually outplaying Geek Fam with their movement across the map and pulling Geek Fam to certain areas and then taking advantage of that elsewhere. So I don't know. I'm curious how it's going to work. I would also say that last game I felt like Geek Fam had the draft advantage because they had Void. So I don't know what to say besides that.
Yeah, they did create. You're right. They created some really nice opportunities. The way that they got Skylark back into the game by giving him the safe lane. The way that they contested that mid when Raven came to try and take the mid tier 1 tower for free, and they held on to it, and they put themselves in a situation where they'd taken 2 enemy tier 1s and hadn't lost a tier 1 of their own. All of that was exquisite early game, like early to mid gameplay and rotations and shot calling. But then later on, especially when it came to the big team fights and the buybacks and managing stuff around Roshan, that's where they were kind of let down. So we'll see if we can get a bit more of that early game ad Finem here to get them off to a good start. Because boy howdy do they need it for this game. I think what they actually have to do is they have to run like a full tri lane into the Batrider, and they have to just like keep killing him. They have to like dumpster his lane and give the Bloodseeker a good start.
Right. Yeah, they can't afford for. I mean, I guess it's sort of a weird one in a way, because like Bloodseeker, if he does get levels, like Madara could just retreat back to the jungle and try and farm while the rest of his team makes moves around the map. That could be the other way that they play it. So if at least Madara is able to get some amount of levels early, that could be really helpful. But he can't get completely trashed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he will opt to like be prepared to ditch the lane. We might even see the max blood right build this game.
Yeah.
Like you spam the lane a little bit to like hold on to your tower, and then once you get a few points and you're just running some clarities, you just head into the jungle and spam blood right to farm.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, it's not all about the lane either. Like, there's definitely some good tower taking potential with like Lesh if Skylark's able to have a good game, and he was the one that carried him through their initial part of it last time around. Maybe
I just want ad Finem to show me why Bloodseeker is a good hero this game.
Okay.
Like the same way that I wanted them to show me, like why I really wanted to understand their concept about like why is OD a good pick in the previous game, and all I could really come up with is the arrow synergy. I think there is more than that,
right?
But I just didn't quite see it, and it's the same thing this game. I really want to understand why they picked the Bloodseeker the way that they did. Like, did they think it's good against the OD? I think that's sounds like a pretty good matchup, right? The silence is annoying. The rupture means you can't move around easily in fights.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see based on the way that he plays it. But the complete opposite approach from ad Finem, as they're pressuring with an aggro tri-lane.
Ooh. And they're going to go on this bristleback here. Behind the split earth on top of him. Raven is going to force out a salve from him early on. Meanwhile, the rotation comes down to the other side. Wait, it was a TP. Where'd that TP go?
Huh? Shadow Demon TP'd bot. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Toss back. Silence there on the Cuckoo. Disruption. This could be good for him, actually. Get a good bit of damage on Mr. Cuckoo.
Is Spartan dead, though?
Not before the first blood goes the other way. Yeah, they got
him. No, I was also Geek fan getting first blood top. It killed Skylark.
Well, you know.
MNT's just lurking mid. Oh, did they check the replay?
They must have.
Oh. Dubu, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows that they were gonna try and figure it out, and they just put it on the other side this time.
It's pretty good. I like that.
Well, that's one step ahead. That's next level support gameplay.
So
this is how you know I'm a support player. I just get super excited about all the like the double ward with the one intending for one of them to get dewarded. Yeah, I love that stuff.
I mean, it's honestly makes such a huge difference, though. It's like everybody pays attention to the kills, but it's the vision that like helps determine, how the stuff
that decides so much of the game. Oh god, Haste Tiny. Oh lordy! All right, they've scanned him. They know that he's here, but is it gonna matter?
Thug, run away! I don't think they knew quite enough about that Haste. Ooh, Thug going for the courier snipe. One more punch. Oh, the Astral. Oh, that was almost enough. Raya takes one more pot shot. Ooh. The poison attack.
Oh my god, that was so close.
Jeez.
He tried to be stone cold about that fairy fire.
Right. He popped in the end. Meanwhile, Madara chasing forward for Cuckoo, has a lot of thirst stacks, but the juke away underneath the tower. Madara ends up going super low. Is he gonna go down? No, they still kill off the Cuckoo Batrider. But man, getting all that thirst up in the mid lane on the OD made the difference.
Wait, is Madara gonna die though? The tower's on him now.
Oh god, Avalanche! Juke away, heals up, imprisonment.
Oh, salve disruption.
This is pretty nice. Healing. And now Zephyr is gonna go down to the arrow. Cuckoo does not quite get hit there by the silence. He doesn't have Firefly for another 8 seconds, so he can't turn onto this. But add Finem coming out.
Spartan God, what a play there. That was so nice.
Did he salve him himself?
I think he salved him, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was the Bloodseeker salve or the Shadow Demons.
I'd have to go back and check, but I think if it was the Bloodseekers, he would have like retreated further under the tower and just started salving them instead of running into the tiny. So,
what do you think about this Viper build, going for 202?
Oh, interesting.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah. I guess it's more just about trying to like orb walk and pressure lane. You can see the Ryo has taken a lot of damage, so yeah. Seems to kind of be working. Zephyr, oh, I can look for a toss. Ryo is trying to give him the target.
Nice. Leap away. Give him the punch. Leap away again. Back into the clutches of Zephyr.
Welcome back.
Oh, he cancels his animation.
There you go.
I wish that like there was more animations for like if you're really, really hurting as a hero, because in that way it's like Mirana's just like, you know, pantsing along or whatever on the ground, and then suddenly one punch and she's like, oh, I'm dead. Just like
that's the end.
There's no change difference really. Well, turning on the Cuckoo here. Avalanche and Madara stick charges. That's enough to keep him alive. Spartan disruption to save a life for a moment. Madara 5 stick charges. They will eventually find 1 kill, but now maybe next time shows up. It's a couple more punches off there, trying to live through it. Cuckoo. Oh, Madara gets him. This Bloodseeker's working.
Yeah, it definitely is. And maybe next time had to give up on grabbing the second bounty rune to come back and turn that around. He was on a trajectory to grab both, but instead Zephyr's going to be the one to grab it. Oh, he didn't buy his bottle first. Interesting. He had enough gold. I don't know why he didn't just get the free bottle refill. Because it's not super important at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa!
Toss back.
In the midst of the leap, and that's going to be his death. Maybe next time goes down. We're also seeing, like you talked about, a little bit of a different build there early on. It was no points in Blood Rage early for Madara. Now going back for one of them after taking 2 in Thirst. We'll see if he continues to level up the Blood Rider. Maybe go back for the Thirst afterwards. TP away canceled by Skylark, realizing, you know what, there's a big creep wave here. Can't really do much. And a toss back underneath the tower. Find themselves Mr. Thug. Arrow not quite going to be on the mark. But it looks like that is going to be OD finding a kill. Fairy Fire. Never mind. Chase away. One more punch, though. That gets the job done. And now tossing on to maybe next time. Who, guess what? Only has 1 leap charge and kind of whiffs it. But looks like they'll still be able to get out.
Madara's TPing in the mid.
What is happening? Arrow connects? All right, they find the kill regardless. Madara's like, let's go. Let's party. No mana, no problem. Zephyr, toss up, wants to get it. Blood Rage onto the Tiny, and he too will fall. And 13 kills in 7 minutes. So this is a fast one.
That is such an ad Finem move. The like Shadow Demon rotates over, Bloodseeker TP's mid, and they have all 4 of their living heroes in mid lane. I don't even know if that worked out that well for them, just given that the Bristleback found farm top and whatnot.
Oh, nice job. Arrow not quite there, but Raven also be hurting from that one. So 7.5 minutes in, the score tied up. You can see that It is Ad Finem, who's kind of inhabiting a lot of the top slots in net worth.
Yeah, they have to do this. They just have to keep buying like small items and just run at you. You can see it from what Madara's doing. He's buying a drum. Skylark is just tanking up. Right? He's got a bracer and 2 crowns. Nobody can afford to be greedy on Ad Finem's side. They absolutely just have to buy a bunch of small items and just run at you. So they're playing to their strengths for sure this game.
Oh, Zephyr. He does eventually get found out there. So let's see. As Dubu gonna try and get the TP away. Does complete that one there. Pressure on the mid being kept off by Dubu on this coddle. And it does feel like it's, at least for the moment, Geek Fam trying to just buy themselves a little bit of time before the next round of ridiculous aggression comes out. Spartan's trying to get down a ward. Not able to quite find the angle on that one now, and well, he's gonna be lovingly hugged to death.
Yeah, he's very dead. So I do feel as though the clock is ticking a bit for Ad Finem. It's going to get really difficult to push later on, especially once the Batrider finds some more items. Like, he's got his boots of travel already, so he's constantly going to be out pressuring the map. They don't have a ton of great ways to catch him either, so he's going to be a big nuisance. Keeper of the Light's going to get plenty of points and Illuminate. What are they doing on this hill?
I don't know, but they get caught out by the boots of travel bat. Now going to be tossed to death. Skylark managed to find the stun, but still goes down. It was an attempt at a wrap towards mid, but a little bit of just greedy movement, I guess you could say. They went there.
Yeah, they just didn't bring everybody at once and didn't respect Geek Fam's control over that area of the map. And they can't afford to make mistakes like that if they're going to win this one. Right. Really has to be very crisp play.
Okay, so 10-minute mark, runes. Looks like it will end up being maybe 3 for 1 unless Madara can keep him off of this. Which he will. And decides to rupture Zephyr. He needs to be kind of careful here. Oh, Cuckoo. He TP's away, yeah, realizing that was not going to work. Alright, so they still get the kill there onto the Tiny. And now they can make that move they wanted to earlier, pressuring the tier 1 tower mid.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Alright, Tiny is... He's kind of struggling. We've seen some nice plays from Zephyr, but also just not the most consistent impact. Really looking like he wants to fight. Cuckoo's also in here. They're not willing to give this up so easily. Raven just gonna go park himself in front of the tower. This is a full 5-on-5 shaping up mid.
Skylark, the one that's gonna get tossed back in now. Still living for the moment. Bloodright doesn't connect onto anybody. They drop down the Will of the Wisp to keep the separation. You can't run through that if you're Ad Finem.
Skylark was trying to be cute. He was just sitting there trying to edict from the trees, but got found out and very quickly dealt with. In a constant sentry battle back and forth on this this hill. But the observer for Ad Finem is actually just all the way over on the other side of the river. But holding onto this mid-tier 1 tower is so important. For Geek Fam. You know, you hear that every single Dota cast, just talking about how important the mid-tier 1 is, but it's just such a significant... It represents so much control on the map.
Yeah, and likewise, I mean, this is the lineup that needs to be getting aggressive early, as you mentioned, for Ad Finem. I do kind of wonder late game if, like... I don't know that much about, like, Bloodseeker late game nowadays. It feels like it should be different than it used to be, because it gives you attack speed, which hypothetically should scale better with just like straight up damage oriented items. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I guess I appreciate the hypothetical, but I don't even know if Bloodseeker's going to get that farmed.
Right.
Game. Like, look at his build. He's going drum BKB.
Yeah.
Like, this man is never going to be 6-slotted.
Yeah.
He can feel a little bit obscene once you get to that level 25 and you get the the extra movement speed, but I'm still not convinced by this hero, or at least it's not a hero that I think we're going to be seeing a ton of.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's one that even needs to be like. I think he might need the boring passive rework treatment that like witchcraft and all those other things got. Like maybe Thirst needs to be part of whatever. What was it?
No, I think that's what it was for DP.
Death Prophet.
I forgot that was even a spell.
Or whatever, yeah. People like Lone Druid had synergy, right?
Yeah.
Just this boring passive that like they removed a bunch of boring passives and changed them into interesting like active abilities, and then they rolled the passives in somewhere else.
Yeah, Death Pulse or the Sadist.
Yeah, Sadist was also one of those. So maybe that's what's going to end up happening with Bloodseeker. Who knows?
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Okay, well, 9 to 10. And Bristleback, after farming out that whole round of Ancients, looking pretty good. They find Zephyr, who's going to try and TP away, and there's everything in the world to catch him. Madara is.
But you can feel it that the momentum feels a bit dead for Ad Finem, right? Anywhere that they're like pressuring out the map or finding something, Raven's either shoving a lane on the other side, or Cuckoo's already in position to do something. And the net worth, I think, is just slow and steady going to start moving in Geek Fam's favor.
If Ad Finem can try and like keep the pressure on right now, though, I don't think it's by any means like a foregone conclusion that it's over. That's the thing. Is like I expected this laning phase to be way worse for the Bloodseeker. He's top net worth. Like Madara's had an amazing
That's
game.
true. Yeah, that's true. They dealt with the Batrider way better than I was expecting. I thought this Batrider was just going to be like a free lane win, free game for Geek Fam, but not the case.
He's saving up for the Blink Dagger now after going for those bots. They TP away with the Lesh, who wants to go and pick up these bounty runes here.
Oh, Madara.
Yeah.
Getting dragged back into the tower.
Coddle drops it down. Arrow going to try and be the interrupt, but it's not good enough. And Skylark not able to get the rune. Really picks it up instead.
Still 3 for Ad Finem, so they at least got something out of their carry dying. Though I'm not sure if the two are necessarily connected. Being able to get all those bounties.
We've got a double Atos build too.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. It's that's part of the problem when you pick something like an offlane Leshrac, right? You mentioned it during the draft that they're lacking in catch, so they're trying to compensate for that with the Atos pickups. I don't know if there would have been any other item that I would have preferred. Like I don't even know if they should bother getting like a pipe or Greaves or anything. I think they just need they need catch and they need BKBs, and that's what they're going for here. And that has to be their timing, just mass BKBs. Oh, Madara, they want him again.
Yep, it looks like they're going to get him. Although no disruption coming from Spartan. That's a little bit scary now for Geek Fam. They got to be super careful. Bloodright laid down on top of them. They have the disruption already used, and now chasing down the Coddle. Can they get more? The arrow, it connected forever onto this Bristleback, and now he also is going to drop as Raven gets pummeled down into the dirt, and now Spartan showing the strength of this hero.
Yeah, it was super good that they had the Shadow Demon TP first. That's exactly what they needed. A little bit, I guess, preemptive from Geek Fam to go for that without having the lasso off cooldown. It was still like 30 seconds to go on Cuckoo. But even with that, the question is like, now what to Ad Finem get out of that? Did they find some kind of a follow-up? I still just feel as though this game is going a little bit too slowly for them. Though maybe I have the wrong read and things will all of a sudden change once they pick up these BKBs. That has to be their timing. But that's also what Geek Fam are preparing to fight against.
Right. Yeah. And I think that you would love right now if you're Ad Finem to be able to clean up at least the last of these outer tier 1 towers and preferably get, a tier 2 down. And then like try and transition that into an early Roche or something, because it does start to look a little bit more scary. BKBs are online now for Madara though, and we're Still a ways away from Leshes and Vipers. One of the other sort of downsides of the Thug build was that he wasn't able to head to clear out stacks or the jungle as quickly on Thug, but it did mean that he could get more involved in the kills earlier, I guess.
Yeah. And he's still tied with the OD at the moment. It's not a particularly high farm game.
No.
For anybody. Like, we haven't seen a ton of stacks and bristleback farming ancients and stuff like that. We didn't even mention this game, the Coddle Bristle. It's not quite as strong as I think it was with the previous. Who knows? It's hard to say. It's like with the previous version, it was easier to execute because you didn't need to. Like, you didn't care about when you cast the chakra on him. He was always going to get the double quills.
Right.
But with this, I guess he gets more goo, and it's easier for him to maintain max stacks with your help. So,
yeah.
Pros and cons. Definitely some strong synergy there.
Don't quite get into range there. Again, Cuckoo going for this drums bots build, and now going back for a hood afterwards instead of opting for the blink dagger. Does make it a little bit tougher to find those targets, as the Moonlight Shadow is going to wear off.
I'm trying to decide if I like Ryoya's build here. Like, he's not going for a BKB. He's just, I don't know if I like the full pike, I guess, is my concern. Like, do I like pike more than I would like a blink into a hex or like a BKB? I'm just not sure. I don't know what this pike is gonna do for him. Like, I guess it gets him out of some AoE and stuff. Probably mostly about the Atos, but does he need the pike for that? He could just have more
broken bristleback, just gonna get dropped. Thug popping out his BKB there, and they make quick work of him. Spartan, he was not well positioned, and he's gonna get punished for it. So Spartan ends up going down. That could have been way better for Ad Finem had they just been able to back away with their Shadow Demon. But looking for another kill didn't work out, and they won't get that much pressure onto the tier 2 tower. So again, a good win for them getting the bristleback kill, taking down Raven. But what can they get afterwards off of this?
Yeah, and that was a 10-second BKB as well.
Yeah.
So need to just they really need to use the resource that the BKB presents to get quite a lot. They're not too bad at high grounding. Like I said earlier, the Blood Rage on the Leshrac is pretty scary, so they don't have to win too many fights to take a lane of racks this game, but the BKB usage is really gonna be what decides it. And okay, so now Ryoya's finished his full pike, and now he's going back for the BKB.
I mean, is that the type of thing, not having it online right now, that makes you worried about where this next couple of minutes are gonna go? Because it's a lot of gold to try and farm up on the OD to get to that item in time.
I don't know if the BKB like guarantees that he can fight, and I kind of feel the same way about the pike. Yeah.
Atos goes down, they find themselves kill onto that Coddle, and just like that, they're pressuring again. Ad Finem, 21 minutes in, they're hitting a power spike, and they know it.
Okay, so they have to be careful of like lassos and tossbacks here.
Right.
Tiny's TPing in.
They don't have blink though for the Batrider.
Yeah, no blink for the Batrider, so it's pretty much all on Zephyr to find some kind of a tossback. Stop this push. They're taking so much damage on this tower.
It's gone.
All right, well,
tossback looking for it. Zephyr double Atos. He's in trouble now. Stunned, broken, punched, pummeled, and dead. They might need a buyback here from him. Ad Finem, recognizing their timings with these BKBs, they force out the buyback, take down that tier 3 tower, and now can retreat if they so desire. Can't really go on to Thug here. They've still got the defense afterwards. They lay down the break onto Bristleback. Another round, 4-staff, keeping him alive. They're going to try and take down this Batrider as Cuckoo is eventually going to fall, it looks like, although they're very low and they missed uphill twice there. But Madara able to clean up, work onto that bristleback in the end while using his BKB. But they don't have that much mana left on this Lash. There's no follow-up afterwards. Arrow gonna connect there on OD. And that should be enough to either secure their retreat or maybe go for more if they wanted. But it looks like they're just gonna back out now. But big win there for Ad Finem.
Yeah, taking the shrines are free now. They can just Leshrac can go and clean them up whenever he wants. They still they haven't even purchased the BKB on the Lesh just yet, so he's still gonna have a 10-second up his sleeve, and it's still 9 and 8 on the Bloodseeker and the Viper respectively. And I'm watching OD in these fights, and he's just kind of floating around. It doesn't really, for all of his net worth, it just doesn't really feel like he can do all that much. He can't commit in, has to play very safe. I think Ryoya is just waiting. He's hoping that somebody else on his team can force the BKBs, and then after he waits at the BKBs, then he can go in and do some work. But there isn't really anybody to do that, is the problem.
Right.
I don't think there's any other hero that they're really going to pop BKBs for. Maybe the Will-O-Wisp, but that's about it.
See Zephyr here. He wants something, but
yeah, but
this is a bait.
And like Ryoya is connecting, but also they have like no vision.
Yeah.
So
oh, maybe next time he's gonna spot Zephyr here with this arrow. This is an awkward moment. I mean, yeah, he's gonna try and get out of there now, realizing that could have ended badly. And
okay, they have BKB on Bristle. They've decided that this is their timing. They're running into them.
Walk right into him right at the
the
start. Skylark, it's into all of them. The catch, it's already there. Dubu's gone at the beginning of that one. They pull back in one, though. Already dead Shadow Demon, so now no save. Raven, BKB, wearing somewhat low, and Madara's is as well, as Zephyr going to be able to find that Avalanche Toss combination. Atos onto the OD. Does not quite get caught, but the stun is there, and they find the Bristleback. And even though he had that BKB, still goes down. Geek fam lose 2 for the cost of a Shadow Demon. And that was the smoke BKB reel. That was everything.
Yeah, that was... It almost looked like the OD was finally going to find an opportunity to do something, and then he just got pushed away by the Bloodrite and whatnot. So... Still, Ad Finem building up a little bit of a lead. Man, Geek fam were really hoping that BKB from the Bristle was going to do more, but he just immediately got ruptured, and that was the end of his fight. Yeah. I'm so surprised at how farmed this Bloodseeker is, I have to say. I guess that's just the power of Bloodrite.
Yeah.
These days, I suppose. He really has a really good farming tool.
He took the health talent too, so I mean obviously you get that much later than the time where Bloodlight farming matters. Dubu trying to keep him off the tower here. Arrow just barely off the mark, while simultaneously they're getting a little bit of creep cut from Cuckoo. And with that fortification, it's not going to be enough to take down this catapult. I'm going to need to go in and take this one out some other way. As they get the D-ward from Ad Finem. Tier 1 tower goes down. Cuckoo with the wraparound. Trying to play within their vision, but it looks like Ad Finem do not want to take them. Oh, they're still sticking around. This is deadly. Spartan, I think, is just dead.
They have BOTs on the Viper. He can get back here if they want to take the fight, but yeah, I think it's just this is just a sacrificial Spartan move.
Yeah. Raven sticks around for one more quill spray and then back. Are they going on this? They lose their Shadow Demon and decide, all right, we'll just kill off the Coddle regardless. They don't have anybody else in this area, but feeling like it's okay to take the fight. Although Lasso is still up.
Neither team has their mid here. Rhea is now kind of coming over. But he's also telling them that his BKB's on the courier and that he doesn't want to fight until he has it. So they're kind of resetting, and Ad Finem don't really want to fight because Viper actually had both of his the BOTs and the TP scroll both on cooldown, so he couldn't get there. Oh, interesting. Look at this Cuckoo build. Look at the next item that he has queued up.
Very interesting. I mean, it's a good blade mail game, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't have. He's not that tanky. He took the flame break duration as well. passed over the 300 HP. So
I mean, Pipe.
It is certainly a good deterrent, and there is a lot of uncontrollable AoE from Ad Finem, but does he go like an HP item next? Is he gonna tank up more, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Because
is he just hoping that he gets ruptured once and just like?
Because what even is that other HP item? I'm not really.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So I don't think he buys a Crimson Guard or anything here. He's just queuing up a Yule's next. The Blade Mail feels really out of place in his build for me.
Time will tell.
Like, why not just buy a Lincoln's or a Lotus or something and just keep throwing it on your... they are significantly more expensive, but why not just get something that you can like keep throwing on your Bristleback or something like that? Or if you really want answers to Rupture and whatnot.
I think that's the real tiny, but it is not. They drop everything onto it.
Oh, now... they found Call. 5 seconds on Will-O-Wisp.
They're really doing a great job, I think, on Ad Finem. This is the thing, right? Like, we talked about last game, how it felt like it wasn't an outplay necessarily. I don't think. There were moments where Ad Finem were actually outplaying them, but it was... I mean, I don't want to put it all on Void, but some of it was definitely on Void.
Yeah, yeah. And it's this game, Raven just doesn't have the Viper is giving him a really hard time, right? He's not a Bristle boss. He's really relying on his teammates stepping up and kind of being the real carries this game. I've been forcing the rush, but Cuckoo's here.
They realize it. They're looking. I don't know if Mirana quite caught sight of Cuckoo right there to the side. Roche getting down super low. He's going to walk in. Blade Mail already out. Can he get the Aegis? He's able to snatch it away. Cuckoo making the play. Raven's caught there, but he has the BKB for afterwards, so he's going to be able to turn afterwards and make this fight happen. Madara, TP out. Everybody's just deciding to run, and, well, Raven realizes, hey, we can actually fight as Thug is out of here. Raven chasing forward, trying to find that kill, and we'll be able to get at least one. TP away, but the lasso comes in the clutch, and they kill off Skylark. Big win for Geek Fam.
Oh, not enough respect for the Batrider around the pit.
Freaking Cuckoo, this guy.
Yeah, he's a jolly Dota player, that's for sure. Yeah, that went so badly for Ad Finem, and I don't think Ryoyo was even there. I don't even know if he could have got there, but
right.
Just Ad Finem, I think they're sick of getting dragged around the map. Like they're really sick of the Batrider shoving waves, the OD shoving waves. They just wanted to force a fight by going into the Roshan pit, but that did not work out the way that they were hoping. And once OD gets this Hex, I think the game changes significantly, because at that point, Ad Finem's BKBs are not nearly so valuable. You're gonna have to pop them way more proactively, and we're already starting to get down into lower charges as well. 7 on the Viper and the Bloodseeker. Cuckoo still has Aegis.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the HP item game. Now he has 2 health bars. Blade Mail value achieved.
I like it. Beautiful. It's exactly what he was anticipating.
We weren't theory crafting hard enough.
I can't believe Mirana didn't just like walk over and check. I mean, obviously from a bird's eye view, you can tell what should have been done, but that one hurt.
Yeah, Cuckoo just like walked into the pit. Hey, what's up, guys? I'll take this Aegis right here. Thanks.
No blink necessary. Bottom lane, Cuckoo. Oh, they want some retribution here. Get on back over here, mister. Chase forward, Thug looking for it. Atos already down. And the arrow to boot. Now, can they kill him a second time? Pretty sure the answer is yes.
Yeah.
It's
Blade Mail.
Have a little humility. A wise word for anybody.
I like it that people have had to step up their hero chat wheel game with the removal of like all the battle pass chat wheel.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Well, and also Dota Plus has been around long enough now that people are starting to get their rank up on the number of
yeah, lines. Everybody's got a decent number of levels, even on heroes that they don't necessarily play a ton of.
And this is exactly what you were talking about earlier as well, the problem of Ad Finem beginning to fall off. Granted, it was looking a little bit rough there, but now Geek Fam, after that Aegis steal, after the BKBs have started to come online, the fights have not looked as tragic for him, and Geek Fam's next set of items is going to be that much more terrifying to fight into.
Yeah, I think OD might finally be entering the game.
Yeah.
33 minutes and 4 items later, I think Ryoya is online.
Guys, don't worry, we got this.
Yeah, he's in it to win it.
It's pretty fast too.
Yeah, he's got the Solar Crest helping him out. He's the real carry this game. Raven's sort of the utility, go and soak up all the spells. Hopefully he's the one that, like, they're hoping that he's the one that cops the Rupture. And stuff as well, and then Ryoya can just go ham. So they have handed the game to Ryoya, and it's up to him to
carry that.
So we went Scotty next. All right.
For who?
For OD.
Oh, it's kind of cool now. I think the value against like the range cores is so much better than it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Viper's like not really that much about his right click damage. Oh, catch in the midst of the leap. Use 2 more of them, because why not?
That's all the mobility. He wanted to save the gem.
Yeah. Moonlight after?
Done by MMT.
I'm thinking about it.
Have they seen the... Okay, they've seen the Hex.
Yeah.
Cuckoo also has a gem. Oh, they're a little bit split on the Geek Fam side.
Get the ward taken down. So 21-16, and the chase forward arrow does not quite connect there, but they know that they're chasing. Zephyr looking for the opening. Dust already out. BKB charge going to be used. Dubu trying to get away. He does manage to get the Will of the Wisp down. That catches on to one. So the big Coddle ulti already used in this instance. Leshrac trying to live through it, and he will eventually get torn apart. So too will Spartan, and Thug just tries to TP away. Can they break the TP in time? No. Maybe next time. Also going to drop. 4 go down.
All right, OD's online.
He's
here, game. He's arrived.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, Madara didn't press the, well, could not press the BKB button.
Yeah.
So he didn't get to do anything. Look, if you just click on him, all of his spells, everything's off cooldown. He just walked up, he was Blood Rage, and then got hexed, hit twice, and just sanities into submission.
And that's the thing, right? Is like, BKBs are great and all, but if you got a Hex on your team, I don't know how you deal with it at this stage.
Yeah, they just stalled until the Hex, and that was...
Maybe like needing a Sanjin Yasha Satanic type of build or something? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, just like super tanky.
Well, and the status resist too. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You're still gonna get hammered though.
Right.
This is the thing.
It's fair. Yeah, it's very, very strong right now with that talent and then the natural int gain that you get, or the spell amp that you get from... Oh, he doesn't even have Kaya Yasha. He's just going straight up the other way. Spartan, run to Dubu. Scan, realize he's in the area.
Radiant's middle tower is under
For
attack.
Dubu. Arrow, they're searching. Where'd he go? Oh! Oh! Oh, they got the spell life still there. And they get him. I think. Possibly. Maybe. Dubu? Yeah, he's dead.
I had to look through the combat log. The Sanity's Eclipse did 2006 damage to Bloodseeker.
Yeah, it's problematic.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, 23-20. Again, game number 2, we're looking at a 7,000 gold lead for Geek Fam right now. And even when you find that pick off on the Coddle, it doesn't really translate into anything else right now for Ad Finem.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else do they have? The Nether Toxin Silences talent is nice, but OD still has a 9-second BKB, so he's got enough. I think he's got enough BKB strength to like win them another 2 or 3 fights, and that should be all that they need to close out this game.
Probably the best bet would be like trying to bait stuff out and then have Shadow Demon there as like the defensive option.
Yeah, they have to disrupt the Hex.
Yeah.
Pretty much to win a fight, I think. They don't have any other defensive tools, but they haven't bought. They do have a Force Staff and a Lotus on the Mirana, so if MNT is in a good position, then they can maybe counterplay it that way.
Realize that ward is in the area. Can't get the D ward in time as Dubu took out all of their vision. Yeah, and you know the other thing that I've been noticing about like this way that Geek Fam's been playing, you think about last game, right? They had that Night Stalker. Big vision advantage. This game, you've got the Bat Rider. Very similar thing, where it's like you just gain a vision advantage, so you're always taking the fights that you want.
Yeah, they've got another advantage as well because I think they took away the gem, right?
Yeah.
I think they have Ad Finem's gem, and there's one in the fountain as well. Ad Finem go for smoke, but immediately gets broken by Cuckoo, who's over here with an Octarine.
Well, guess who's
There's
there?
your HP item.
Oh, they found one. Okay. Opening comes out, though. The disruption, able to save the Mirana for the moment. Now the rupture. BKB reaction from Madara before the hammer drops, but they're able to get the disruption to save him for the moment. Tries to take him down. They're not going to be able to kill him off in time. Madara still ruptured, turned upon, tries to get him. The bash comes out. Royer's still bringing down Madara. He's too freaking strong. Oh my god, this man is a monster. Royoya doing all the damage in the world, but not quite enough to get him out in the end as the Viper Strike connects, but already he's done his job. Killed off that Bloodseeker. Double buyback coming from the Shadow Demon as well as from that Mirana. Now the Blade Mail out. Skylar doesn't really have that much left in the tank as Thug wants to chase down another arrow. Dodged away. Good split earth onto 2, but they can't get up to high ground in time to bring down Cuckoo, who just backs away again, and being this big bulwark in front of all of them as the Bristleback dodges another arrow. Skylark tries to walk back in. Cuckoo still pushing back Skylark further with that Blade Mail working. Disruption trying to save their life. Avalanche toss comes in though, and Zephyr puts the kibosh onto that. So a big, another team fight win coming out for Geek Fam. Raven dropping solo and will eventually die. That is a big pickup for them. They needed something.
And not enough respect for the Viper, especially with this with the Aghanim Scepter.
Damn.
Okay, so that was... So they bought back on the 2 supports. That's not a huge loss. Just kind of a weird team fight, to be honest. You called it out. Really good BKB usage from the Bloodseeker. Got up in the face of the OD. Still died.
Yeah.
OD's still really strong. But they have worn down his BKB just that little bit more. And Viper is now 25. So I think that they do kind of have an out in that sense. I wouldn't say that this is all Geek Fam.
No.
Just... And they're heading into the Roshan pit as well.
I think if he can get like his damage up from Madara, his right click could be a big way to turn it too. Another round of Blade Mails out from Cuckoo, and they're trying to just make that space to get in there, sneak away Roche. But already Geek Fam trying to put themselves in position now to play Interrupt.
Everyone on Geek Fam is just tanking up. This Octarine on the Bat, the OD with the Scotty, now thinking about an Octarine of his own.
Cuckoo moving over, banished, chase, Atos down, 4 staff away. These 4 staffs making the difference now. Geek Fam, can they move in?
Thinking about it.
They have Sanity's Eclipse again. They jump forward. No, they don't. Zephyr goes on to 1, but I'm not sure if that's a good enough target. Spartan just going to walk the hell away. He's going to give up his life, but that secures the Aegis and the cheese. And now
These 4 staff players from Geek Fam have been really... They're chasing on. They just smoke up.
They know that
they
Spartan
want it.
Doesn't have buyback. There's no save now, but they walk into him. Oh god, Sanity's Eclipse is gonna come out a second. It blows up maybe next time, but the BKBs came out from the others. It's enough to keep him alive. Skylark chasing, trying to find an opening. Raven, his BKB doing a lot of work, but there's gonna be the cheese used. Thug, drop down low. Is it gonna be enough though? He has that silence onto the OD. 4 staff away again. Blood right not quite going to connect there. They need another round of it in a second.
Madara.
Can it be enough? It's not enough damage. And Madara, the only one left alive. Big win for Geek Fam.
Oh, I guess it wasn't necessarily that brave, but I think they told themselves, like, the fight that happened over near the bottom rune, that just went weird. Like, that fight just played out in a really strange way. I think they knew that they're just stronger. The OD does so much damage at this point.
Yeah, Sanity's Eclipse just destroyed them. And, I mean, again, you're pressuring forward for this tier 3 tower. And there's not much they can do to get past Raven. He's been able to just stay in front of all of them. Toss back onto Skylark Disruption to try and save a life. They have the Demonic Purge onto Cuckoo. Immediately takes off that Glimmergate. And Atos toss back again. That keeps him fine and dandy. Thug wants to chase, gets the silence there onto Zephyr, but another Force Staff. Saving his life. Thug wants to chase. He has another round of the silence here in a second, but he's going to get pulled back in. Skylark still chasing. Can they get out of there? The Hex comes through, and OD doing the work, but able to get bashed. Madara trying to stand toe-to-toe with them, but his BKB is about to wear off as well, and OD doing a ton of damage. Can they bring him down in time? The Zephyr jump through, finding themselves one kill, and the Astral is going to save his life. Madara doesn't have anywhere left to go. He is going to drop 4 dead, about to be 5, and this one is going to go into the tank. Geek fam take them all down and win the series 2-0.
Yeah, it's they got the turnaround in the end there. It was a tough one. Ad Finem made them work for it. But to me, the highlights of this game have to be Geek fam's defensive play, like the Force Staff play especially, and then just the way that they would bait buybacks and then always reset. I can't think of a single buyback from Ad Finem in this entire series where it felt like, oh yeah, that was like a great buyback, super valuable, definitely the right decision. It felt like they just kept getting baited into spending buybacks and then getting nothing out of it.
And again, you look at there's this very clear demarcation of when the game starts to drop down super low. It's about 35 minutes. Let's just take a look at what items they got at around that 35-minute mark. Yeah, it was the Hex. That changed everything. That was the moment where it all switched back around, and suddenly, they were able to win fight after fight after fight. So really impressive showing, and it feels like it was kind of the game plan for Geek Fam all along, right? Like, make space with those 4 heroes and let Royo farm up.
Yeah, I think in both games they knew exactly what their win condition was, right? In game 1, they knew that they needed the BKBs, and as soon as they got those BKBs, they knew that the Sand King would no longer be a problem, that they could consistently win fights. And in game number 2, they saw the triple BKB from the enemy team. They knew that they needed a Hex to answer that, so they stall and they buy time, and as soon as they get that Hex, then they know that they're the ones. They took a few little attempts here, like once they got the BKB on Raven, they kind of tested. They were like, okay, can we win a fight just because we have BKB on the Bristleback? And the answer came back, no. you can't win a fight just with the Bristle BKB. And they just continued in their holding pattern of spamming and cutting waves. And Ryoyo just carried them from there.
Well, I believe that's going to do it for us. Impressive showing, definitely, from the Geek Fam squad. And we touched on it before, but I think it's a good point to go back to, which is that it felt like the biggest thing that separated these two teams was, on the one side, Ad Finem, really good movements around the map, but on the other side, Geek Fam just understanding when their timing is and not overextending, being very patient with their play, which is a really good thing to see from them, this team that I think we're both expecting to do big things this year in the DPC season. I don't know how you feel about it, but I kind of feel that way.
It's gonna be tough in SEA. Very competitive region these days, but I definitely think they have a lot of potential.
Okay. Any final words before we sign off here?
No, thanks everybody for watching. It was fun to come here and cast with you, Gabe. Always a pleasure.
Most definitely. And we'll see you guys next time. But for now, go watch the main stream. Some solid Dota, sure to be played, and we'll see you guys later.